Welcome back to Follow Through. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Follow Through Show, Twitter at FT Through Show, TikTok at Follow Through Show, Facebook, which is for what?
Your parents.
At Follow Through, and you can email us at followthrough.podcast at gmail.com. Make sure to follow our personal Instagram. You can follow me at Daxon Crow. You can follow Eli McCoy61, Blake at Blake MCO2, and Clay at Clay2Mac. We got top 5. We got NFL Week 4 preview. We're going to give you some bold takes and biggest keys from there. We got this magic moment. And then, of course, as always on Thursday, the road to 70. Welcome to Follow Through. We're happy you're joining with us. Make sure you're listening to us on the Eagle Radio Group app or anywhere else that we are available. And you can watch us on YouTube at Follow Through Show. Boys, there's nothing that brings me much more joy than the top 5.
Love a good top 5.
And this time, Clay didn't come up with the topic. Blake, congratulations.
Nice,
Yep. Good job. Top 5 movie snacks. And I think, Blake, you have this because we got movies on our mind. We're going to watch Venom 2 tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I can't
Or
wait.
I guess today when this releases.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Top 5 movie snacks. Mine is going to be a little weird, but I'm here for it. Clay Mac, what's your number 5? Any honorable mentions, actually?
Nope. I'm getting right after it. I'm going to start with my number 5. This is something that I don't eat. I've had it before, but not very recently at the movies, but it does hit different. I got a big old pretzel, nice salted pretzel with that little tub of cheese. I don't know. I need to. Does our movie theater sell those?
Yeah, the Art Movie Theater, I'm going to try it
They
tomorrow.
sell a
They sell
bunch.
chicken fingers. I'm going
Yeah.
to have them tomorrow. I'm not going to eat before. I'm going to go, and I usually will get popcorn, but I'm going to try chicken fingers.
They sell pizza and all that
I'm
stuff.
sure that's good. I'm not a fan of spending $16 on it, but
Oh, you spent 16. I spent like 28. It feels like whenever I go to the movie
Well,
theater.
my number 5 is a big old juicy pretzel. They hit different. I need one.
Big old
Big old
juicy
juicy pretzel.
Juicy baby. Yeah.
I have one honorable mention,
Okay.
and that is a watermelon Sour Patch Kids.
Oh,
Love those.
favorite candy.
I don't eat them a whole lot, but they're really good. at
Watermelon.
movies.
No, that's
I like the Sour Patch Kid part, but the watermelon just gets
Yeah.
an automatic boo on this
But-
on this show.
My number 5 is Kit Kats. Love a good Kit Kat.
And it's
chocolate.
is it frozen Kit Kat?
I've never had a frozen one.
Dude, that is something you have to try in your life before you die.
Yeah, I just love Kit Kats. The chocolate, the crunch, and the split. It's perfect.
Nah, you eat
Are you a middle? Are you a middle left, middle right? Right?
Right.
Okay.
I'm right.
I just ate the whole thing at once. I don't split it. I just put it in my mouth.
Oh, you put it all in your mouth?
Eli, you love the movies. What's your 5?
Yeah, I despise going to the movie theater. Mainly the price of all this stuff is just ridiculous. I could go to a gas station and get 10 more items for the price of, but I'm just going to go with Sour Patch Kids at 5. I like those in real life. Doesn't have to be at the theater, so.
Wow, that was
Yeah, that was
great.
really
We're going with
depressing. I wish we could put like a clip in Eeyore over your face right now.
You can get that anywhere, but I'll take it.
Well, you can have the hack where you get it at the gas station and kind of stuff it in that hoodie pocket.
That's way more exciting.
I do that with the water every time that I go to the movie theater. At number 5 for me, I have Airhead Extremes. I don't really like them anywhere but the movie theater. They just hit different in there. Plus, like when I get movie theater snacks, I used to love bringing nerds, but I hate being that person who is just moving the nerd box around. You just hear it rattling in the background over and over again. So for me, I'm going to go with Airhead Extremes. They just hit different.
My number 4, that little rattle you're talking about doesn't affect me at all with these. I'm going to go Reese's Pieces. Is that right? Or is it Reese's Pieces? Yeah, Reese's Pieces.
You were trying to say Reese's Puffs.
Yep.
Reese's Puffs.
They, I love Reese cups, and I don't know, it's just like taking a Reese cup and putting it in a little circle and giving me a lot of them. And I personally enjoy that, not just at the movie theater, but in general. But that would be my number 4 for movie theater snack.
Especially if you let them melt in your mouth.
I just chew them.
Oh. No.
I don't like to let my food just sit there and marinate. And
I was letting it
Some of them are
marinate.
good if
Yeah.
you melt them.
Yeah, I agree.
My number 4 is peanut M&Ms. They're better than the original M&Ms.
I don't know about that.
They're so much better.
I don't know about that.
I love the crunch.
I agree
and
with
the
that.
chocolate.
Sounds like
perfect
Blake
like
is
Kit Kat.
Blake is
I
a
agree.
crunch guy. He
Big
likes a good
crunch guy.
Peanut
I
M&M.
do.
My number 4 is Raisinets. They're always at the movie theater. They're there.
I like those.
That is kind of a movie theater thing, so I like those a lot.
Raisinets are 5.
Underrated.
They're pretty good.
My number 4. Nerd Gummy Clusters.
Oh,
It's the new thing. No, it's like the nerd rope. like the Nerd Rope, but they put them in a little ball form. They are like crack cocaine. I could eat them all day long without a doubt. Like the other day, we had a pack of them in the office, and we were just sitting around, passing around, eating them the whole time because I literally could not stop. Love those things. They make up for the noise, and plus they're in a little ball form, and you get more nerds because they're like they're completely covered in the gummy
30
thing.
of them,
and it's just like eating a Nerd
ball.
Rope. But if you eat a Nerd Rope, you're done with that thing in like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take Nerd Gummy clusters.
This candy was actually introduced to me at the movie theater. My number 3 is Bunch of Crunch. If you don't know what that is, it's like a crunch bar, also in ball form. They also have like little cookie dough ones. Like I didn't go crazy like that. I just went with the original Bunch of Crunch. The first time I had these was at a movie theater, so technically it is a movie theater candy. I think you can buy them like anywhere now, but back in my day, we had to get them at the movie theater. So that's my number 3.
My number 3, taking a little bit different route from the crunch, I got sweet tart ropes.
Oh, those are good.
Soft,
those are
they're
great.
long, love them.
Sus comment. Number one for Blake.
Heavily.
Number one for
That was
Blake.
bad.
That was bad.
With a
That was really
smile.
bad.
With a smile. Like,
I noticed it right when I said it, and I was like, "Oh
Gosh,
shoot!"
so that's number one for Blake. And you said that so like appeasingly. You were like, I'm not even going to copy it.
yeah,
So,
don't repeat it.
That's number one for you.
that might be Blake's first one.
That is Blake's first sus comment.
Congratulations.
Welcome.
You're on the
Yeah.
board. We've all
One
been
more
there.
and you'll be at what Eli was at last week.
We've all been there. For my number 3, I've got peanut M&Ms. They are better than regular M&Ms. I agree with Blake on that.
Peanut
And-
butter.
I mean,
Ew.
no, peanut, just straight up.
He like
Peanut-
peanut
peanut
butter.
Peanut butter are good though.
I like the
those?
peanut butter ones. I like those a
Really
lot.
like peanut.
I don't know. I've had them, so they're all right. But peanut M&Ms is the best thing M&Ms makes.
The mini M&Ms.
Ooh, I
Those
forgot
are
about
good.
All
I
right.
freak with mini.
Number 3 for me is a Coke Icy. I consider it a snack at the movie theater. I don't know why, but you know what? It is, in my opinion. Anything you have to buy at the movie theater is a snack, and so therefore I put a Coke Icy on that list. I will pay for the Coke cup and go get a Coke Icy every time without fail. Money hacks at the movie theater.
Yeah, our movie theater workers do not care what you do, really. So
Not
not
whatsoever.
really a problem there. My number 2, Blake, Sweet Tart Ropes. You basically covered it. They just and there's a lot of them. Are you like the tropical flavor, or you just go classic red?
Classic red, no doubt.
I'm tropical.
I'm good
I'm a
with any
tropical
flavor,
guy.
honestly.
Do you like tropical Skittles over like regular Skittles?
I don't really like Skittles. So,
That's bad. That's literal.
but that's my number 2. And there's a lot of them. There's like 8 of them things in
Yeah.
that little plastic whatever box. What would you call that?
It's like a
Doesn't matter. That's in their little wrapper. That's my
In the
number 2.
packaging.
Sweet Tart Ropes, tropical flavor. Try it out.
my number 2. Really should be my number 1, but
Gosh, son, you having a
I
hard
know my throat just
like
like
it's
give out.
choking.
But my number 2 is popcorn. It would be my number 1, but my number 1 is just
special.
yes, it's
Special to
me.
you. Holds a special
Love
place
it.
in your heart. Blake's been in the movies a lot. He knows his what is there and what's not there. So
Right. My number 2, I'm going to go with Reese's Pieces. Blake already.
no Clay.
No, you covered it. Yeah, that could jump to number 1, but it can't.
My number 2, I said that I didn't care. I cared about making noise, but I really don't. The Rainbow Nerds at my number 2 spot. I love those things. The rainbow are so much better than just the purple and the pink, because the purple and pink you have to fight to get them out of the little box. The Rainbow Nerds, they just give you the big box and you just do it like that. So I love the Rainbow Nerds. I'm here for it. Nerds is my favorite candy.
My number 1, Blake. I don't know how this isn't your number 1. Popcorn. Duh. How is that not anybody's number 1? And now with the self-dispensable butter. Which,
Oh no, there's no self-dispensable anymore at our
anymore.
movie theater.
Oh,
you, have
there's
to pour,
not?
you have to pour it out of a cup.
I always eat Blake's popcorn, so I don't know.
Ours is broken.
I hadn't bought popcorn in forever, but Blake used to like. I remember Blake used to go absolutely brazy with that little dispenser. Like make you sick. Like, but that's my number 1. It's just, when you think movie, you think popcorn.
You want some popcorn with that
That's
butter?
just how it is. So I'm gonna go with popcorn as my number 1. I'm ready to hear this number 1.
My number 1,
What could beat popcorn?
could-
Yeah, I'm very.
Wild Berry Skittles, purple bag.
That's very true. He does bring them.
They are literally the best candy of all time.
Okay.
They recently made gummy versions of them, and they're not as good, but they're really good. But I would rather eat Wild Berry Skittles than popcorn. I would.
Okay.
This is not the hot take segment. You know that, right?
I know, but I would.
You were a fan of the yogurt Skittles. Was
Yeah,
that
those
you,
were
the
good,
yogurt
too.
Skittles, yeah. Those
Number
just
one,
don't sound appetizing.
popcorn. The only good thing about a theater is that popcorn in it is really good. So
Not the movie.
Not the movie.
No.
Oh my gosh.
I do enjoy the popcorn there. I'll give you that.
Number one is popcorn, without a doubt. I mean, when you're sitting there in the movie theater, what do you want? What are you going to eat half of before the movie even starts? The popcorn.
All of, honestly.
I love popcorn so much. I wish I could put Coke on this list, but it doesn't have any bit of a snack form. But, like, you sit down, movie theater, Coke commercial plays, you hear them go, and then you have your popcorn with your Coke. Cannot beat it. That is my favorite thing about the movie theater.
No.
Snack-wise. Let's go ahead and talk about NFL Week 4 preview. We're going to give you our biggest key. We're going to give you our boldest take for the weekend. Blake's boldest take is still living strong.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Thursday Night Football, Jaguars versus Bengals. The Jaguars will go to the Bengals. I picked up the Bengals defense purposely for this game in fantasy. Sunday Night Football, we have Buccaneers versus the Patriots. Tom returns home to face Mac Jones himself.
Sure.
That is going to be a heck of a matchup. Cannot wait. And then you have Monday Night Football. The Raiders are appearing again versus the Chargers in SoFi. Blake, that is.
SoFi.
We've got them this weekend.
I've never heard that.
All these games. Really? You haven't?
We have alluded to
I
that.
said it like
I've
million
I've
times.
never
He
caught on
literally
to
said that
it,
last episode.
But it's never been thrown in like that.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That was pretty smooth. I didn't tell
It
Blake
was-
we were
it
going to
was-
do that.
it
So
was
we're just
cool.
I was like, let's see if it rolls. All right.
Screw
What
me.
is your biggest key for Jaguars versus Bengals, Clay Mack?
Which team sucks less? I mean, let's be honest. The Bengals are actually decent. They had a huge that win against the Vikings week 1 went under the radar. That was a pretty big win. I think the Vikings are a pretty solid football team, and they beat who they beat last week.
The Steelers.
Steelers. That's
Blake's
two.
Super Bowl champ.
Yeah, your Super Bowl champs looking.
Yeah, they're looking really good, Blake.
For this one, I don't know. I expect the Bengals to take care of business especially it being in Cincinnati. For Jacksonville, you just got to start figuring some stuff out. You have to get Trevor Lawrence into some sort of a rhythm. This season is not about making the playoffs. It never was. It's just about, finding something to build off of. And right now, you're not building off anything. And
Like,
so
The first thing I wrote is, can Jacksonville get anything going?
yes,
You have to get something.
You don't
going.
have to win the game. Just find some positives
Yes.
within this game,
Yeah.
and if you do that, then you give yourself a chance. But so far this year, they've played themselves out of games.
Nope.
They've turned the ball over like crazy. Part of that is due to Trevor Lawrence. Part of that is because you're making a rookie quarterback. No matter how talented he is, you're making him do too much. And at the end of the day, he's still a rookie. This is only going to be his 4th game. So you need to find something to build off of. That'd be my key. And for Cincinnati, just take care of business, and you'll be fine.
Blake, what's your key to this game?
For me, it's the Bengals establishing a run game with Joe Mixon.
I love that take.
I do too.
I love Joe Mixon. I think he can get started pretty easily if they just keep handing him the ball. I don't really see the Bengals defense struggling, especially against Trevor Lawrence. I mean, dude has like 7 interceptions on the season.
Very accurate. That is correct. 7 interceptions, 5 touchdowns.
Yeah. I don't really see the Bengals struggling with this. Just don't play around with them because then you'll lose.
Take care of business.
Yeah.
And this is a national championship rematch. You got Burrow and Trevor Lawrence.
Yes.
You sure do.
Yep.
At the beginning of this year, Ellis told me, I want to shout out Ellis right here, that Trevor Lawrence would struggle and possibly be the worst of the rookies this year. And him and Zach Wilson are in a tight race for first. So I wanted to give him credit for that. I did not believe that at all. But here we are. They've looked terrible, as we've all said. And I just put, can they get anything going tomorrow? Like you said, build on something. I totally agree with your take. You don't have to win this game. But I did write, are the Bengals contenders for the AFC North?
I think they are.
I think they are. I think they're definitely the second team that comes out of there.
Because the Ravens have definitely showed that they are not dominant. They're
injured. They're
I
injured.
think they're the best team, but you saw last week they almost lost. There was a miracle they beat Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
And they lost week 1. Of course, they had the huge win against Kansas City. But I agree, that second spot is wide open.
Yeah. So it's just, can Jacksonville get anything going? I think the Bengals will probably handle business, but could be closer than you think if they get something rolling and Trevor gets hot. I mean, he's obviously talented, and we know that, but it's just, it hasn't looked good through week 3, and we'll see what they can do in 4.
So currently, Cincinnati, Baltimore, and Cleveland are all tied. Pittsburgh being the one down at the very bottom in that league. They're all 10-1. I would definitely say it's a tight race between Cincinnati and Cleveland on who is going to be that second team, I would say, because I do think Baltimore's the better team. They're just really hurt. I mean, that's just kind of the end of – that's kind of how it is. For me, it's injuries for the Bengals this week. I think that this is a game they should go out and absolutely dominate in every facet of the game, but they have a lot of guys hurt. They've got a starting cornerback, an offensive tackle, a guard. T. Higgins is questionable, and Jesse Bates is out. So for me, it's can you overcome injuries with a young team, a young coach, and a young quarterback? I don't expect them to have a hard time against this Jaguars defense, so I would say my biggest key is can you overcome injuries and just go out there and execute. I literally, please, I've had a terrible defense. My defense, I total it up. We scored -8, which means they lost 18 points on Sunday because you start off with 10. I picked up the Bengals defense. Please just do me a solid and just get 10 points. Just stay right at even. That's my biggest key to this game. Clay Mack, what's your biggest key for Sunday Night Football? Everyone knows it's the game of the weekend. Buccaneers versus Patriots, the one game everybody wants to watch.
Yeah, this is very exciting. We haven't got to see Tom go to New England. I think this is his first time playing New England since he left.
Correct.
And the fact it's in New England, you're playing Belichick. It's going to be a crazy atmosphere. I'm sure the fans will greet him with a ton of love. I mean, heck, he gave him everything. My big key for this is going to go to Mac, and Mac's kind of looked on the other side. Everybody's focused on Brady. We're not really talking about Mac. He's the rookie quarterback for the other team. But my thing is, don't let this moment. This is your biggest game you've been in yet in the NFL. Don't let it be too big. I don't think that'll be a problem considering he played in several big games at Alabama. But just go out there and don't turn the ball over. You don't have to be great. Do what you did in the first 2 weeks and just give your team a chance to win. And I don't think it's going to be tough to win this game, but I don't know. If anybody can do it, it's Belichick. And Belichick is wanting this game more than anybody. Oh, yeah. Possibly more than Tom, let's be real. I think last year seeing Tom win that Super Bowl probably did not sit well with him. And so I know he's eating at him to get one on Tom. So that would be my key, is probably the coaching matchup, and make sure Mac Jones – and just for Mac, don't let Mac do too much. Just let him settle in and, do his thing. But that would be my key. And this will be fun.
What's your key?
Kind of like what Clay was saying, it comes down to Mac. I think, for the Patriots offense, you've got to just let him get comfortable in the pocket, let him make the right reads, whether that's throwing a check down for 5 yards or something. And I don't really see the Patriots defense struggling that much just because their defenses look pretty good. It's just they're on the field so much because the offense struggles some. You've just got offensive-wise, you just got to keep the defense on the sideline.
Yeah, I think the Patriots have got to control time of possession. Yeah. Keep Tampa Bay off the field.
I agree with both those. Last night we were watching a thing and me and Ellis. It was Joe Theismann. It was all these great quarterbacks, and I said, I looked over at Ellis and I said, who's going to be that guy for us today? Obviously Brady and Rodgers and all those guys, but they're older. I said, who's going to, be one of the next guys? And Ellis, we're both Auburn fans. Ellis looked right at me. He said, Mac Jones. And so when I heard that, it kind of hit me because I wasn't really considering Mac. I was considering Lamar and Patrick. And so,
Herbert.
Yeah, and he mentioned Herbert. And so I was like, wow. And I really got to think about it, and he's not wrong. So this could really kick off something for Mac, getting Brady back at home. And, it's a big game. I do think that the Buccaneers go in and win this game, but huge opportunity for Mac. And when Ellis said that, I've really just continued to think about it. And Mac could be one of those guys that you see 20 years down the road, like he was great, So if they can, help him out, get him going, I think they have a chance. And this is a huge, like you said, Clay, a huge stage for Mac.
And talk about getting an entire organization behind you. You win this game, that you have everybody on your side.
Yeah.
Then because there's still a lot of people questioning the decision to put him over Cam. There just is, because what he's done so far, has it been much different than what Cam would have done? No, it hasn't. So if he can win this game and play solid, then you start, turning that organization on. All right, this is our guy, and we're gonna ride with him. So.
Yeah, and I have to agree with that. He hasn't done much from that, but on the other hand, though, for them, it's the smart decision because here's what you're doing. You're getting all your bumps out this rookie year, And then next year you can start building towards being another championship contender. And they've got an AFC East, I think, that's still available because clearly the Dolphins don't know what they're doing at quarterback. Even though Tua's hurt, there's a lot of questions there. I mean, they're still trying to trade for Deshaun Watson. There's a lot of room there. The Jets clearly don't know what they're doing. And then, of course, you have the Bills, which is going to be your team you're going to compete with for years because of Josh Allen. But my biggest key here is, can the stage not be too big for Tom? And when I say that, I'm saying because he's going back against Belichick. It's the big argument the whole time since they left. Who's the count for the success? Was it Bill or was it Tom? In my opinion, it was Tom. Bill does a lot. He's the second best coach of all time behind Nick Saban. But Tom carried them on the field in that sense. And, there's been a lot of coming out about, Tom's health guy. I can't remember his name. I want to say it's Alex Rodriguez as well, but it's some weird name. Came out and said you can't treat a 40-year-old like he's 20. And so there's still a lot of bad blood there between him and Belichick. That's my stage. I want to see what happens. I love Belichick scheming when it comes to defense. So my biggest takeaway is, can Tom come in and keep his dominance of New England? Because that's what he did. He dominated at home. He did not lose. Can he go back in and say, this is still my home, and still rock it out? So I think it's going to be a great game. I think that if Mac shows up, and like y'all said, they're going to have to dominate time of possession, because if they don't, I don't think they have the offensive power right now to keep up with Tampa Bay, unlike the Rams did this weekend. And that's how they won. They overpowered them in every facet of the game. Let's go and talk about Monday Night Football. Raiders versus Chargers. Great game. Great matchup. Another big AFC West matchup here.
This could possibly be the best game of the week. Again, AFC West matchup. You got Las Vegas, who we all thought they were going to be good. I don't think we expected a 3-0 start looking at the schedule they had.
Definitely a surprise team.
And Los Angeles, huge win last week. You lost to Dallas, but it was off a game-winning field goal. You played great then. You won week 1, so they've been solid as well. Herbert has gotten better. Again, I've raved on Herbert before. He's incredible. He's going to be one of the best in the league in a few years. But I'm telling you, man, my key for this game is Derek Carr. It's going to keep being Derek Carr, because right now the way he's played is why they're 3-0, honestly. Mm-hmm. And I feel like throughout his career it's always been, he's what's held them back. But now it's almost like he is what is carrying this. He's carrying this team on his back. They are good. They're talented. But I think he's been there for so long now that as he goes, they go. And that's their leader. That's their captain. So my key is if Carr can keep up, the dominance and he has the most pass yards in the league. If he can keep that up, man, this team's going to keep going, and they're going to keep rolling. And we'll say this should be a really good game, though, because Herbert's going to do his thing. And so far this season, Carr's done his thing every game. So
for me, kind of like what you're saying with Carr, the biggest key for me is the Chargers defense. You got to get pressure on Derek Carr. You've got to get him outside the pocket and keep coverage on the wide receivers. Because if he throws it downfield, it's going to be completed. I mean, it showed. That's why they're first in offense and first in passing. They're just killing the game. You've got to just get pressure on Derek Carr and get incomplete passes.
Force him. Yeah, if you give him all day, man, he's dangerous. Yeah. Which every NFL quarterback, you give him all day, they're gonna eat you up. But he is. Heck. But then the play that keeps replaying in my head on when they brought the house against Baltimore. Yeah. I know he was wide open, but that was a beautiful throw there, and the game winner. Right. They brought 8. They came after him, and he was able. That's just something that I think 2 years ago Derek Carr would not have made that play, but it just looks like he's matured a lot.
And one we wouldn't have expected him to make either.
Yeah, I agree with everything that's been said. For this game, I think it's going to be how do the Chargers respond? How do they come off a big win against the Chiefs? Because it's hard not to, and every coach says they don't. Every coach is like, this is just another game. But when you play the Chiefs, it's not another game. It's not. And so especially they went to Arrowhead and beat them, didn't they?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you can go there and beat them, you act like you're not going to treat it like a big game, but that is a huge win. The Chargers can't let that be their Super Bowl. They can't let that be their playoff berth. They can't let it be more than, we beat a good team, but heck, we're a good team as well. And I heard their coach after the game, and that's sort of the mentality he brings, but are the players going to buy into that? If they can respond well and, get over a win, sometimes that's the toughest thing to do in a league is get over a big win. You just got to come out and restarts, new week. And so if they can do that, I think they'll beat the Raiders. It's at SoFi, so it's at home. The Raiders will have to go on the road. So I think if they can handle that big win, then that's going to be the key for me.
Well, they're going to have to keep that mindset they kept last week after they lost to the Cowboys. It's the same thing. You got to treat every game the same. So
Yeah, I see this game being a really good game. My biggest key, of course, is going to be Derek Carr. That's how it is, I think. And definitely Gruden and how he handles this and what they've had. I feel like this season, who would have thought, I know it's still early, it's September. Well, it'll be October when they play. But that this would be the fighting for who's going to be number one in the AFC West. I mean, because you're going to get a division win here, whichever way it goes. And this is a big division win right now when the Chiefs are down 1-2. You need to go ahead and take as much steps and dominance because they're not going to be like this for long. No. You just got to get it while you can. I feel like Derek Carr has been MVP level so far this season, and that's what everyone's going to look at. It's, can you keep this up? Can you do those? Can you make the smart decision? This is the Derek Carr we saw the year that he broke his I think it's his fibula, and couldn't play in the playoffs, and they went out playoff week one because of Connor Cook at quarterback or whatever. It feels like he's taking back that. He feels like he's comfortable. And, when he was saying before the beginning of the season, I want to play till I'm 45, I was like, oh, man, dude, like, you're still trying to figure out if you're going to be at the Raiders for more than this year.
Right. Yep.
And now he looks like he wants to be. I feel like going into Los Angeles is a good thing for the Raiders. It's practically a home game. You got to think they played in Los Angeles. They played in Oakland. They went back to Los Angeles. They went back to Oakland. It's going to be like a home crowd. They have fans. I think they'll win 35-31. I'm going to take the Raiders. I think that they are going to continue to be a surprise team, even though we didn't think they were going to be a bad team. We just thought, it's the AFC West. It's tough.
Yeah.
And the Chargers, Herbert still has growing pains. I don't expect him to be perfect every week.
Yeah.
So a tough Raiders defense, a tough Chargers defense. Who's going to go? I think it's going to be a great game. What's your biggest, boldest take for the weekend?
Biggest, boldest take of the weekend. This is bold because it has not happened last week.
Zach Wilson will not throw no picks.
No.
I
wouldn't
take that.
I think the Chiefs lose their third game in a row this week.
Who they
that
play?
is bold.
The Eagles. Listen.
Wow. Whoa, that is bold. That is bold.
Listen, I'm telling you. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay,
we know that Jalen Hurts. Let's be honest.
That's a video.
Jalen Hurts is honest. He's still a rookie, really.
Yes.
Playing wise, he's basically a rookie.
He played 4 games last season?
Yes, started 4 games. And if you watch Jalen Hurts, he's a freak athlete, but where he struggles is under pressure. He always has. He's always felt like he has to roll out and get out of the pocket whenever he senses pressure. Mm-hmm. The Chiefs' defensive line that's been their biggest weakness this year. Their defensive line has been absolutely horrendous. They have got no pressure. They're getting killed up front. And I know the Eagles' offensive line looked absolutely awful on Monday night, but I don't know. I feel like there's some panic in Kansas City right now because you have not been in this situation with Patrick Mahomes at the helm. And I feel like Philadelphia.
So I've got some stats for you.
Philadelphia gets it done.
Since I heard this on another show, we shout our sources. Patrick Mahomes had never thrown a pick in the month of September until this year. He's thrown 3 so far. They have not been below 500 since 2015.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think I know it's 2 games, but I think you're panicked.
This is the first season that they've lost 2 back-to-back games since 2019.
God.
So, I mean, they've not lost back-to-back games in a while, so I'm with you on this. I think they are panicked a little bit as well. I mean, just kind of more of like okay, what do we do?
Yeah.
And if this game was in Kansas City, then I'd probably think about it different. But I don't know. I feel like the Eagles are going to get it done. I don't know. I still think the Chiefs are going to figure it out, but give it to me.
I kind of want to agree with you on that too.
Do it. Look in the camera and say it.
I don't know. I kind of want to. I think it'll be a close game, but I think the Chiefs will still beat them.
What's your bold
take?
But
my bold take, back to the Monday night game, I think the Chargers handle business and give the Raiders their first loss and take first place in their conference. I think Justin Herbert comes out there on fire, and I think he handles business and gets it done. I do.
I like that.
It's a huge game for both these teams because the more ground you can make or get ahead of the Chiefs, the better you are because Let's be honest. They're too talented not to figure it out somewhere along the way, and there's going to be a winning streak down the road. Yeah. So if you can jump out to a 2-game lead early, especially for the Raiders, if you go even for the Chargers because you have the game head to head right now. But I agree, it's big. That game's huge for both those teams in that division.
Yeah. Every week after the NFL, it's like a Monday or Tuesday post. They post the 4 or 5 teams that are 0-3, and it says not getting it done. And we're going to move one of those teams out with the Lions. They're going to beat the Bears. I think the Bears are just atrocious on offense. And the Lions are going to not
Hot
be
take there.
They're not going to be 0-3. They're going to get their first win. And arguably they should be at best 2-1. But they've ended up losing all 3. It just kind of seems to be the way things go in Detroit. But, at least you're not the Bears, and I think they get it done. Sorry, Dax.
Not
the Bears.
Not the Bears.
Okay.
Matt Nagy
Ignorance aside.
needs to go.
Yeah, that's agreed 100% there. I'm going to take the game. It's an early window game. I think a lot of people aren't looking at. Ravens versus Broncos. Ravens at Broncos. I'm taking the Broncos to be 4-0 since first time since 2016.
Jamal's gonna be so happy.
I really, really do like this Broncos team. I really wouldn't think it offensively was what my biggest scare was going into this season. And Teddy Bridgewater, it's hard not to pull for him. And I really feel like we have to take respect for him. I feel like this defense, they're ranked second right now in the NFL when it comes to overall defense, while on the other hand, you have Baltimore, who's 24th in overall defense, and they're both scoring at about the same tick right now. So I'm going to take Baltimore to lose here. They're going to lose in a close game. I feel like the key here is Denver needs to contain Lamar Jackson, and I feel like they can do it. Bradley Chubb being out is a little concerning for me, but I feel like their offense can score just enough with Baltimore, just because if you can make them one-dimensional, which is containing Lamar Jackson, that's all you really have to do.
Yeah.
Would that make Baltimore 2-2?
It would make them 2-2, and it would make the Broncos 4-0.
Yeah.
And it would put them in the top of their division still technically because they're 4-0. Without a division win over.
Yeah. I think the Broncos definitely have the defense to stop Lamar.
In the AFC West, everyone's looking at Chargers Raiders this weekend. I'm looking at Broncos. Can you be 4-0 still?
I like that.
And so for me, 4-0 first time since I think Peyton. So first time since 2016, the year after Peyton.
Yeah.
But still, you haven't had this much excitement in Denver in a long time. Clearly, Drew Lock is not your quarterback. The bridge, Teddy Bridgewater, usually he's usually Teddy Two Gloves. He's usually the bridge quarterback, but is he going to be a long term? We haven't seen him have this shot since the Vikings back in the day. So I feel like it's good. If you're the Panthers, you're kind of like, man, missing Teddy a little bit, but on the other hand, you got Sam who's going off. I feel like I really like this Teddy Bridgewater matchup going against this Ravens defense who's not really that good. So that's been our NFL week 4.
You're thinking 5 because college just went ahead, and that's always confusing.
It always is. So week 4 preview. Stay tuned on our social media. We'll let you know how that goes. I don't think anybody has a Super Bowl take kind of like last week. Clay.
That one's pretty bold from Clay, but
I'm talking about more of the Zach Wilson won't throw a pick.
Yeah,
that's almost like guarantee it won't rain if
I'd
it's
rather
cloudy.
put my trust in the hands of Jalen Hurts than Zach Wilson any day.
I would as well. Well, let's take a quick word from one of our sponsors. The Eagle Radio Group app, available on iOS and Android, offers all of your favorite Eagle Radio network stations, including 95 and 96.3 The Bee and 102.9 The Eagle, plus tons of extra channels programmed by our crew and local podcasts from people you trust. The Eagle Radio Group app on the Apple App Store and Google Play. Download it today. Let's go ahead and move into this magic moment. It's always magical. Go ahead and sing it up, Blake. You got it. You got it today. This
Give
is
us
all
the
you can
camera
say.
and all.
Go ahead and give me your best Ben E. King right here.
Oh, God.
What?
Oh,
what was that?
I didn't realize it was
Fumbled the
starting.
bag.
Oh, my gosh. That was awful. Yeah, I know.
Look, I try to trust you and let you sing. I didn't sing this week. I know I'm sorry I didn't grace y'all's ears with my beautiful voice. But Clay Mac, what's your this magic moment this week?
My magic moment this week has been the newfound show that I have discovered.
Oh, gosh.
Squid Game. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm more than halfway done. And let me tell you, I can't get any of these guys to watch it right now. but it'll change your life. It is in Korean, so
Yeah, that's where I'm
you
at.
have to overstep the language. I mean,
I like that.
It's in English. It's just their mouths don't match.
Yeah.
But that's never bothered me.
No,
It
Money
bothers me to
Heist-
death.
yeah.
It bothers me.
It's
I'm like,
never,
OCD
it's
kicks
never
in.
really bothered me. So that wasn't a problem for me. But I know some people it does like really bother like these two. So you have to get over that. But once you get over that, man, I've never like the show aspect is so cool. I'm not gonna do anything spoil wise, but I do encourage y'all to go out and watch it. And I don't know, that's been a good. It's up there with like one of my favorite shows. Honestly,
If Clay has told me once to watch that this week, it's been at least 10 times.
Yes. Very true. Very true.
My magic moment.
Your Jack moment?
Sorry. Was this weekend I went to Warrior, Alabama,
Nice.
to Rickwood Caverns.
The Caverns.
Yep.
Little camping action.
A little outside of Birmingham, right?
Yep. It's not about, well, it's like 20 minutes outside of Coleman.
Okay.
So keep going. It's good at Birmingham. But my parents were camping down there, and there's always this huge car show down there.
Like loves
And I'm a huge car guy. And this
You
year, my
couldn't have
dad.
told on the
What?
Sure Thing or Sham.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't show
We
up
didn't
for
think
that. But my dad this year put his car in it.
nice.
And it was just really cool to be there with my dad, like looking at all those cars. Like, I love doing that. And
Golly.
yeah, it was a tender moment. But I just really love doing that, especially like looking at all those cars too.
Love a little father son.
Golly, you're going to make all of us cry over here.
Golly. Now mine's just lame compared to that.
What's your magic moment?
Actually, it's not. My
Oh,
magic
wow.
moment is Sunday night after we recorded this. Dad's got us some wings, and we really just chilled right here. It
And
was
watched-
awesome.
Yeah, our
It was awesome.
the studio hangout.
It was awesome. Watched a little Sunday night. Ended up being a good game.
I won in
that's all you can
fantasy
ask
that
for.
night too.
The boys, wings, Sunday night football. That's
all you
Can't
need.
beat
That's
it.
it. It was solid.
That's all you need.
It was a
Right
good
there.
moment.
All we got.
I ended up
That's all
texting
we
Dax
need.
the night of. I was like, thank you. That
Yeah,
was
he
fun.
texted me at 1 o'clock, knowing good and well I was
He'll
dead
see it. He'll see
asleep
it the
to
next
the
day.
world. But yeah, that's fun, and just shout out to all of our sponsors now that we're big time or whatever, because the millions and the millions. If you're wanting to sponsor our wings on Wednesday or on Sunday nights for the Sunday night football, it's highly appreciated.
Yeah.
But my magic moment, that was fun as well for me. I think my magic moment, I'm gonna go ahead and prelude, is gonna be Venom 2. I'm really looking forward to this movie. Plus,
Heck yeah.
I'm trying to get back in the movie theater more. I really do love that median of entertainment. I feel like because of COVID, everything's just kind of crapped down on it. And so, therefore, I'm trying to. I told Blake, I was like, I really want to be just a $20 a month Stubbs member and go to 3 movies a week
Yeah.
or whatever. But for me, I'm really looking forward to going to that movie. I am really, really looking forward to this week of college football. I cannot lie. This is going to be probably my favorite week so far. And that's just saying in games on the lineup. I've got 3 in mind, and we're going to talk to it, and that's why I had to prelude to it. I think you're going to be at a game I'm really looking forward to watching just because I'm an Auburn fan. You're going to be at a game I'm looking forward to watching. I guess me and you are going to have to watch a game together because both of these guys are going to be gone. But I am really looking forward to this week of college football, and so I'm going to go ahead and just roll right into that.
Roll into it.
Welcome to the Road of 70. It's your favorite part of the week. It's my least favorite part of the week because I just suck at it. I don't know what it is. I was really close to picking some big ones last week, and it just did not happen.
Yeah, you were.
Very close. West Virginia, screw you. That's all I've got to say. And Oklahoma. We're going to go ahead and let you know the games we're picking. We are picking this week number 14, Michigan versus Wisconsin. Number 7, Cincinnati versus number 9, Notre Dame. Clay has a lot riding on that game. Number 6, Oklahoma versus Kansas State. The sneaky game that's been on Oklahoma's schedule the past 3 years. Number 12, Ole Miss versus number 1, Alabama. Arguably college game day. But you know what? It's SEC Nation instead.
Facts.
So that is the big game that everyone's looking forward to this weekend. Lane Kiffin, Nick Saban, and number 8, Arkansas versus Georgia.
I have a lot riding on this game too.
Also, yeah,
I have a lot right on this game. Sam Pittman makes his return to Athens in a big-time matchup that can prove the fate of his program going down in the future.
Very good.
11 a.m. kick. College game day is at 11 a.m. kick again this week. That's crazy. But let's go and start off with number 14, Michigan versus Wisconsin. I fully drank the Kool-Aid, Clay. What you think about this Michigan-Wisconsin game?
I completely agree. I've drank the Kool-Aid, and it's hard to imagine Wisconsin starting out a season 1-3. but this schedule has been absolutely brutal early on. I don't know. I just feel like Michigan has a lot. This game is at Wisconsin, but I don't think it's going to be as crazy as week 1 because you're 1-2. It'll still be loud. It'll still be a great atmosphere, but I don't think it's going to be anything like the Penn State game was. Give me the Wolverines. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm riding the bandwagon. The wheels are probably going to fall off this week. Because it's Michigan and because Wisconsin they're 1-2 and they do not want to be 1-3, which is something that we have not seen in a long time. Wisconsin's always pretty good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Give me the Wolverines in this one. I like it. On the road, Harbaugh, big win for him. And if you can win this one, man, the rest of the season is tough, but you hadn't really played much yet. This is your first big test, I would say. So you got a lot to prove in this one. Just win it. You don't have to win. You don't have to dominate. Just win.
Yeah.
Because that's more than what you've done in the past. So
for me, Wisconsin is awful. Wisconsin is so bad. Quarterback Mertz, he has 1 touchdown and 6 interceptions.
Yes, he does.
Dude is terrible. I see Michigan winning this game by at least 2 touchdowns. I don't see them losing this game at all. Who cares if it's at Wisconsin? It could be in the backyard. Michigan's going to kill them.
I like it.
I'm here for it, Blake. I'm here for it.
Not so fast.
Oh, my gosh.
Wisconsin is at home. Did you see that atmosphere week 1?
They lost.
It doesn't matter.
You're probably about to make a statement like Lee Corsos, too.
Tough opponent in Penn State. Then you have to play a neutral game against Notre Dame, who I think is not great.
Not great and got ran off the field.
Got away from them at the end, and we all know that
I was
going to
make that statement.
Wisconsin is not starting the season 1-3. I love the ground game that they have there. Give me Wisconsin.
Oh my gosh,
Wow.
dude! I was surprised
the way you did the pencil, yeah, that was perfect.
If you would have made if you would have just had like a mental pause for a few seconds, I would have thought Lee Corso was sitting right next to him. That was great. Good job. Thank you. Where it comes down to this game is Graham Mertz, what Clay, Blake, and Eli said. Well, not really as much as you, but Graham Mertz, 1 touchdown, 6 interceptions. He's thrown the ball 95 times, completed 54, and you know how many yards he has? 566.
Yeah.
Cade McNamara. Dog. 53 attempts, 33 completions, 534 yards, and 3 TDs. So he has less complete attempts and almost the same amount of yards as Graham Mertz. I look at the running back game. Corum for Michigan is better than Malusi for Wisconsin. 7 touchdowns compared to his 2. Wisconsin's favored by 2.
What the heck? No.
Because it's in Wisconsin.
Of course.
The atmosphere.
Oh, what?
It's going to be so tough for Michigan to do it. But you know what? Give me the Wolverines. I am here for it. Harbaugh, he is doing something special this year. They're going to be 5-0 going into a Nebraska game that I'm not going to pick yet. But number 14, Michigan's going to continue the roll. We're going to see Wisconsin be 1-3, and I really think this is going to be a 1-3 that they don't deserve.
Yeah,
what Eli said is very true. Last week got away from him because they had to pass the ball at the end, and when you put the ball in Graham Mertz's hands, well, you see what happens. So, therefore, which I'm looking like an idiot for being so high on him in the preseason. But, therefore, Cade McNamara gets the job done. Michigan wins. But watch their offense. They slowed down heavily against Rutgers. They scored 20 points in the first half last week and didn't score again. So watch out for that, but I feel like Michigan's got this game in the bag. So I went Michigan, Clay went Michigan, Blake went Michigan, and not so fast over here went Wisconsin.
Absolutely.
Let's go ahead and roll on to the second game of the weekend. Number 7, Cincinnati versus number 9, Notre Dame. All of the chips are on the table for Clay going into this weekend. Clay Mack, what you're thinking?
Cincinnati. This is the game you've needed. This is the game that you needed last year. You didn't have it. This is literally the biggest game you've had since you've been relevant in the past few years. Do not mess up this opportunity because you don't have many more games to prove that you can play with the best of them. And Notre Dame's win last week was huge. Everything has fallen the way it needed to. You're undefeated. Your big opponent is undefeated. If you let this slip up, you have just wasted everything. Everything has went in your favor. All the cards are on the table. And if you lose, you know what all that was for? Absolutely nothing. You ruined your opportunity.
Get a bowl game.
Of course, I have to pick Cincinnati.
Sugar Bowl.
That's not even a debate. Give me the Bearcats. I would feel 10 times better if this game was in Cincinnati, but it makes the win on the resume, however you want to say it. It makes that
Resume,
win
not resume. I can confirm that.
It's not choice.
Sorry, I'm kind of fired up. I'm already nervous for this game. But it makes the win being at Notre Dame look better. So, hey, take care of business. Do not let this slip up, because if you do, I look stupid and you look stupid because you wasted your opportunity. So, give me the Bearcats.
For me,
Oh my gosh.
Notre Dame has had a pretty tough schedule for like first time in forever.
Yeah, FSU's real tough.
Okay, other than FSU. But they've looked decent for the first time, and they kind of look like a legit football team. Sorry, Eli.
That's not true.
So
That's just not true.
I'm going to go against Clay here, and I'm picking Notre Dame. It's at Notre Dame. Notre Dame handled business last week. They're going to do it again at home this week.
That's a great pick, Blake. I've got Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish, as well.
Wow.
I hate Notre Dame still. If they never played another down of football, I'll say it now. It couldn't be soon enough. So I'm going to pick them. That way, if they lose, I'm happy. But if they win, I'm happy. It's a win-win situation. I do think at home, though, Cincinnati's, they don't get to play in these games every week. Notre Dame seems to play in a somewhat decent game every week. Cincinnati's, what is that American? Yeah.
Yeah.
Big 12 soon.
Notre Dame. It's a win-win for me. I hope they get beat. Trust me. I hate Notre Dame. But
I like what you're saying. Rushing yards allowed this year, Cincinnati's allowed 414. Notre Dame has 320. Their yards per game that Cincinnati's defense is allowing is heavily in line with what Notre Dame's offense is taking every game this year. Notre Dame's offense under Jack Cohn looks very solid. He's looking good. They squeaked early. I feel like they've got control. They've got a 26 home game win streak going into this weekend.
Cincinnati.
And the Bearcats are going to beat them. I am taking Cincinnati. I am behind Luke Fickell 100% right here. I feel like it's your time, Desmond Ridder. Put yourself on the map right here. You're going to have everybody in the country watching you, because here's the deal. If they win this game and they go undefeated, the playoff committee is going to look real rough if they don't put them in.
No, they're
going to have to put them in.
Win it.
Your wins.
Please.
Notre Dame's wins count to Cincinnati's wins.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that. So that win against Wisconsin helps them, a ranked Wisconsin. This win is huge. If Cincinnati does not win this game, it is going to kill the non-Power 5 team trying to get in for the next couple of years, because they've tried and they've tried. UCF, you saw it. They failed. They crumbled. Cincinnati, can you prove it? You proved it against Georgia last year that you're legit a fluke last drive, and you drive less, you win that game. Go ahead and give me Cincinnati Bearcats going into a big time matchup against Notre Dame.
I'm pulling for Cincinnati. Don't get me wrong.
You're kind of in the spot that I was.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and talk
I don't believe that.
Let's talk
You
number
would've picked
6,
against them.
Oklahoma versus Kansas State. A sneaky game, has been for the past few years. Clay Matt?
Oklahoma, for the love of all that's good, please somewhat play good football this week, because you're making me say that you were a playoff lock. You're making me look literally stupid. You've won. You're 4-0, but no win has been pretty, except they played some loser team and killed them. Was it Western Carolina or something?
Yeah, 76-0.
Yeah.
Dang, that's poor. You know Josh is going to be mad. I'm pretty sure he went to school there.
And like Dak said, this game in the past few years, you cannot beat this team for some reason. Out of all the other teams in the Big 12, you figured this would be the one, like, okay, we'll take care of business.
Right.
You hadn't been able to. I think that is why they win this game, because they have that. They're like, okay, we know we can't come out here and mess around with them, because they've proven in the past they'll kick our tails and they'll beat us. So I think they'll have that in the back of their minds. Rattler lost to this team last year, so I think that kind of helps him. They're not gonna overlook this week or overlook this team looking to next week against Texas. I think they take care of business. Well, they might not kill them, but I think they win the game, probably close, because every game they've played has been close. But I think they get the job done. Give me Oklahoma over the Kansas State Wildcats.
Yeah,
there you go.
Correct.
I agree with Clay here. Rattler, he got booed last week, so I kind of see him struggling going into this game. I think it'll be a lot closer than what it should be. It's at Kansas State, so that's going to play a huge factor too. But I see Oklahoma still winning this game. Very, very close game.
Well, it's Oklahoma. You know it's going to be close.
Oh, yeah.
I like both what y'all said, but I think Oklahoma gets this done based on the fact that they've had these close games with Kansas State. And it's just like, hey, we need to get it together. They haven't gotten it together all year. It's not like they're riding high, run into Kansas State, not really prepared. The way they're playing right now, they have to prepare like they're like 0-4, So I think they probably, handle them pretty well. That's kind of my take is they sort of dominate Kansas State and get a little payback for what's been happening the past few years.
I mean, this team is like a few plays away in each game from being 1-3, but they're 4-0.
My key here is Skylar Thompson. Will the senior quarterback be back for Kansas State? That is why they lost against Oklahoma State. They did not have Skylar Thompson, and for me, that is the key here. They always had that quarterback at Kansas State. I can't remember the guy's name before him, but they always had that one guy who just runs around the field and is electric. I will refuse to pick Oklahoma whenever they are on our show. They are not a good football team. You make me look like an idiot. Spencer Rattler is the Ryan Leaf of actual college football right now. He is such a bust. I don't know what he's doing. He doesn't look comfortable ever. I mean, when you were chanting for your backup at your own home stadium, and I know Auburn was doing it last weekend, but here's the deal. That's a problem, especially a guy that was projected in the top 5 in picks at the beginning of the season. So here's my thing. I will refuse to pick Oklahoma, and I'm going to take Kansas State just purely off of the past if they just have their number right now. And here's the deal. I don't really think they will win, but I'm not going to pick Oklahoma right now. I just can't. They've escaped narrow wins. They should have lost to Nebraska if Nebraska had any sort of offensive play calling in that game. You should have lost last week to West Virginia if they don't have a snap that goes 23 yards over the quarterback's head. You're getting bailed out. Tulane makes a terrible play calling decision in a 4th down in that game. So here's my deal. You've been bailed out. Please, somebody just shoot Old Yeller. That's my thing with Oklahoma. They're Old Yeller. Somebody shoot them. Because I'm over it. I'm over Spencer Rattler. I love Lincoln Riley, but I'm over Spencer Rattler. Give me Kansas State. I'm sorry. They are my Notre Dame now.
Really?
If that makes sense. Like, I cannot stand them. I love Oklahoma people. I really like Oklahoma, anything but their football program. So, Oklahoma, I'm going to take Kansas State there. Let's go ahead and talk about what everyone really cares about who listens to this podcast more than likely. Ooh. Number 12, Ole Miss versus number 1, Alabama. Lane Kiffin returns to Bryant-Denny Stadium looking for his first win and the first win of a former coach against Nick Saban. Clay Mack, you'll be there.
Oh, buddy. This game has not been good to me in the past.
It has not.
Last year, it almost gave me a mental breakdown because both offenses scored the whole game. It just took one stop, and that was the game. This year, Notre Dame is a lot better, I think. I don't think Alabama is as good as
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
I'm so sorry. Oh man,
I was like, hold up, pause.
Notre Dame's not playing Alabama.
They got me so nervous. I'm mixing them up. My thing for this game is, let's be honest, Ole Miss, they're good, but so far this season their schedule has been fairly easy. They have not played much. I think if Alabama can not let Corral get comfortable and just kind of keep them uneasy, and he's going to do his thing. He's great. But you can't let him just completely settle in and take over the game. Like, all I think about is Joe Burrow when Joe Burrow did it. You let him settle in, and he just completely beat you. He took over the game. And Corral is good enough to do that same thing. And you cannot let that happen. You have to hit him. You have to get back there. You have to put him on his back and let him know you're there. Because if you give him time, he's going to eat you up with his legs or with his arm. So I think I think Alabama's offense, they're going to score. I think they will. So I think it comes down to Alabama's defense versus Ole Miss's offense. I think Alabama gets it done in a very close game. But I think this game is going to be a little more low scoring than people are thinking. I don't think it's going to be as big of a shootout as people have in mind. I mean, it'll probably be like 30s, maybe low 40s, but it's not going to be like 60-something to 50-something. I don't see that, but I'll take Alabama.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
So,
lock for
kind of
Ole
like
Miss,
what
right?
Clay was saying, it's going to come down to Alabama's defense versus that Ole Miss offense. That RPO offense that Lane Kiffin runs, is very tough to stop, especially with a quarterback that can run it very well with Matt Corral. I'm not so worried about Alabama's offense. I think they'll handle pretty well. I really don't want to pick a winner. The spread is ridiculous. Alabama's favored 14.5. If it's me, I'm picking Ole Miss to cover. I think it's going to be a very close game. I think the team that stops the offense first is going to win the game. I think it's going to come down to that, and whoever has the ball last is going to win the game.
Blake's going to shoot up. If I had
pick a winner.
Yeah.
I don't want to pick a winner.
You have to.
You're just going to take your L on this one?
You're going to get automatic 0.
I'm just going to pick Alabama, but I don't know. It's part of me that wants to pick Ole Miss too. But I'm an Alabama fan, so I'm going to pick Alabama. But I won't be surprised if we lose.
Not at all.
You're crazy, and you're crazy. Alabama covers this spread in the third quarter. This game is not close.
If you're an Alabama fan, you better feel really
it's
uncomfortable
not
right
close.
now because I just let you back to Texas A&M, Arkansas.
It's not close.
I hate you.
Y'all need to relax. Everything is fine. You're Alabama. You're at home. Ole Miss is not.
Blake is freaking out.
Easily take that spread. If I had a $100 bill right now, slap it on the table for Alabama to cover that spread, probably by the fourth quarter. I don't think this game's close.
Oh my gosh.
I completely
I
disagree
think
with
you're
that.
worrying so.
I hope you were right.
Yes,
I'm
I hope
right.
you're right, too.
You know it.
And part of me agrees with you, but I'd feel a lot better if the Florida game had not happened, because that made me uneasy. Seeing Emory Jones eat us up
and seeing
kinda
that
made me not feel
defense
very-
struggle tackling.
Yeah.
All right, but you're factoring in the fact that you weren't at BDS. You weren't at Bryant-Denny Stadium.
Still.
3 touchdowns.
So here's my deal. I'm not like Eli. That I don't think that's. I look at the O-line for Alabama. It's allowing 44% of pressure on Bryce Young. I want to put this comparatively, and we looked terrible last week. We've given up 22% of pressure for Bo Nix. So my thing,
It looks like bonus.
it looks yes, exactly. So here's my deal. I really think this Ole Miss defense is overlooked. I don't think they're as bad as they were last season. I think they've got some stuff worked out. There's every bit in my fiber that wants to pick Ole Miss, but I think I'm just going to have to pick Alabama. I think Ole Miss has what it takes to do it, but it's a hard time picking Nick against Nick Saban. That's literally my factor. I don't even look at the quarterback, the teams on the field. I look at Nick Saban, Lane Kiffin. Now, I do believe, and I will say this right now, Lane Kiffin will be and will probably be the only coach, minus Sarkisian a little bit, I still got to see more from him, that will ever beat Nick, who coached under him.
I agree.
He is in Kirby's head. Kirby cannot do it. Jimbo cannot do it as well. Lane Kiffin just don't give you know what.
Yeah.
He just doesn't. Therefore, give me the Rebels. I'm going to pick Ole Miss.
wow.
I really think Alabama will win this game, but here's the deal. I just want to try to get one up on y'all.
Yeah.
That's literally it. I'm so far in a hole, it does not matter what I do now. I mean, it just doesn't. I mean, it's maybe against the polls. I think Bama will win this game, but I'm going to take Ole Miss just because all y'all took Alabama. Literally my only
I
thing.
absolutely despise Ole Miss too, so I hope we.
This
beat
is,
the crap
I would
out of
say,
them.
y'all. This is probably y'all's biggest hatred
I hate
behind
that.
Auburn.
It's
correct?
mine. It's dude.
I don't know. For me, it's Auburn, LSU, and then Ole
It's
Miss.
just the universe. It's not really the football teams. I just don't like the University of Mississippi. I just don't. I'm more of a Bulldog
You don't
guy.
have to worry about them this weekend.
You like Georgia?
Okay, Eli.
Mississippi State.
Oh,
Bulldogs.
I was like, how do you like
Baseball.
Georgia?
When y'all are up 14 to 21 in the third, I'm going to send y'all both a text. Okay?
I hope.
I don't know how you.
You just cannot let Matt Corral settle into the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think this will be the toughest game of the season. And it's in Bryant-Denny, I know, but I think this will be the toughest matchup for us.
I'm not here for that.
I think it'll be a tough game. I think it's gonna be a great game. I'm really looking forward to it. That is a game that I will not leave the couch. I will, maybe to get up and refill a drink and grab some more food, but I will sit there and watch the whole entire game.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and let's talk about College Game Day. While we're doing this in the 11 o'clock window game, this is a sham.
Back-to-back
This
weeks.
game should be in the 6:30 CBS slot. I do not know why it's being played at 11 o'clock.
6:30,
Totally
either
agree.
one. ESPN, primetime.
But I'm glad it's at the 11 o'clock. Number 8, Arkansas. Sam Pittman returns to Athens versus number 2, Georgia. Kirby Smart, clown shoes. Go ahead and give me.
Clay, Georgia by 20.
Yeah. I think Georgia does. I think they take care of business. I've been wrong on this so many times, so this could. If you're an Arkansas fan, you should be extremely happy right now. But it's just, I don't know how good A&M is.
You're right.
I think Texas is good. I really do. So I think that's an impressive win. But I think A&M with a backup quarterback was not.
I agree.
Not A&M.
It's not A&M. It wasn't that impressive.
We're going to get it back this week, Clay.
You're at Georgia. I know it's 11 o'clock, but that place is going to be electric. Georgia, this game is bigger for Arkansas in the West because it's going to be hard to make up ground in the West.
Yep.
If you're Georgia, you can probably lose this game and still make it to the SEC championship.
Oh, yeah.
But I just feel like it's too soon for Arkansas. They're not talented enough yet. In a few years, hey, if they keep doing this, then they will be talented. But right now, Kirby's had years and years to build this program. Sam Pittman, this is his second year, which says everything about him that he's been able to do this. I just think the talent level is too much for Arkansas. Give me the Dogs by 20 or more.
That is a great. Here, I'll just go with you. Totally agree
Yeah,
with
might
that.
as well.
I don't know what I was doing with A&M, but I really feel confident in this one. I really do. I really feel confident in this one.
For me, I'm just going to start out. I'm going to pick Georgia as well.
Nice.
It's just, which Georgia is a 18.5 point favorite.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, that's surprising. I agree
It's
with
very
it, but that's
surprising to me.
surprising.
But Georgia's defense is just too good. I don't see Arkansas scoring that much, and I don't see Georgia scoring that much. I think they beat them at least by 10. I don't see them beating them by much more. But I'm definitely going to go Georgia here just because it's 11 a.m. kickoff in Georgia. I just don't really see Arkansas's offense doing that well against their defense.
I would expect a defensive touchdown from Georgia at some point during the game, whether it be a pick six, scoop and score, something. The defense, I think, will find a way to put points or get a pick and put them at like the 2-yard line, something like that.
I look back to Saturday, October 12th, 2019, 11 a.m.
Oh, I know what
Number
this is.
4 or number 3 ranked Georgia at the time enters into a home game in Athens, Georgia, versus a 2-2, 2-3 South Carolina team, and loses 20-17.
That was Hot Rod's fault. I remember that.
Hey, it's Hot Rod.
I love Arkansas. Love everything about them. It scares me that KJ Jefferson is not going to be 100% because he looks good. They blow A&M out by a ton more if he's still in the game. They were just trying to get out of the game at that point. At that point, I think their mind was, okay, we play Georgia next week. Let's get out. Let's stay healthy. Their defense is legit, too. It's not nowhere near where Georgia's defense is, but it's legit. Georgia, JT Daniels, I still haven't seen him prove anything whatsoever. I thought he was going to be great. Clemson does have one of the best defenses, but they didn't score. And then now he's kind of been hurt. The mailman's been in. They could have put 100 on Vandy last week, but so do I think every other SEC team.
Yeah.
So minus Mississippi State because it'd be a 0-0 draw at the end of the fourth because they both are equal playing field. But I'm picking Arkansas. I can't pick up against them now. I can't do it. I feel like it's 11 a.m. Athens is not going to be as electric as it is if it was a 2:30 or a 6:30 game. If it's a 6:30 game, you're going into behind Bama and Auburn and LSU, the toughest environment in the SEC at night. The lights, the people, they're little humans that bark at you in Athens. And if they come to Auburn or Alabama or wherever you go, I'm going to take Arkansas here. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be hard fought, but I feel like this Arkansas team still has a lot of upsets they want to prove this season. Does it continue? I don't know after this game because it's going to be a war of attrition. Who can survive? Who can hang on? I think it's going to be a big defensive battle, and I think it'll be maybe a team that scores 21 wins. I really think it'll be that. Usually you hear 28. I think it'll be a team that wins 21. So I'm going to take South Carolina over Georgia there. And those are our picks. That's the road to 70. Make sure you're following us on Instagram at Follow Through Show so that you can keep up with that. And you can make your picks Friday. And then you make sure you're following us on Twitter at FT Through Show, TikTok at Follow Through Show. Blake's been killing that. A lot of us have been getting made fun of the past couple of days. Facebook, which is for what?
Your parents.
So follow through. You can follow through right there. Email us at followthrough.podcast@gmail.com. Make sure you're following Blake on the Blake Cam at BlakeMCO2. Follow me at Daxon Crow. You can follow Eli McCoy61, and Clay at Clay2Mac. Happy Thursday episode of Follow Through. Hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure you listen to us on the Eagle Radio Group app or wherever we are available. You can watch us on YouTube. Big announcement coming soon about some future things going for Follow Through. Still working on this hoodie shortage. COVID. That's literally all I can say. I mean, everything's getting delayed. The iPhones are getting delayed. Everything's getting delayed. It just kind of sucks. Boys, any parting thoughts or bold things you want to say going into the weekend, or do you want to say any other bold things until our bold take Saturday?
Y'all be thinking about me. I'm 0-2 at Ole Miss games. Well,
and your last CBS game wasn't great either.
Yeah, I'm actually 0-3 at my last Bama games. So I'm walking into a disaster waiting to happen, really. So be thinking about me, and hopefully we can switch the script up a little bit.
Y'all need to relax.
Eli's using this reverse psychology.
Bama's
thing.
fine. They're fine. I'm tired of.
I know what he's doing.
I'm tired of this. No.
I'm tired of this.
They are fine. They're gonna.
Also, dogs by 20.
Blake?
I don't really have anything. Just have a great Thursday.
What a guy.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll with Blake there. Have a great weekend. We can't wait to hear your thoughts about what we've said. We can't wait to see you again on our Monday episode. Some big things coming. Make sure you're following us on Instagram. Like I said, that's where you'll see most of the announcements. Hope you have a great weekend. Sit down, watch some football this Saturday, watch football this Sunday, but I cannot stress it enough. Make sure you're watching 11 o'clock, 2:30, and then, of course, you want to watch Cincinnati versus Notre Dame. Until next time.
Peace out, and go Bearcats.